Pressure to already devastated communities, leading to nearly 200 rescues.
Plus, 20 workers are recovering this morning after a chemical leak sent them to the hospital. What firefighters think they were exposed to.
And low registration numbers at Beaumont ISD has district officials sounding the alarm. Why they need parents to act now and how they are trying to make it easier. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
12 News Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
By the end of this week, there's a chance we could be feeling the impacts of a tropical system. The disturbance now has a 40% chance of developing. It's something our weather impact team is tracking closely. Good morning. Thanks for being here with us on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7 o'clock and meteorologist Jeff Gerber. He is standing by with the latest on this. Jeff, we know that this system has a 40% chance of developing. How likely is it that southeast Texas is going to be affected?
Well, I think we will get rain from this. Whether we'll get a direct impact is still a question, but right now it looks like more likely over southern Louisiana we'll see a direct impact from this than us here in southeast Texas. But we've got a little ways to go. Probably not going to be affecting us until probably late Thursday into Friday and Saturday. So got a few days to watch this. You can see the spin right off Daytona Beach between Daytona and Melbourne, heading into Florida now, and then eventually it's going to coming back out into the Gulf. And that's where they say it's about a 40% chance of some development here through the next 7 days. You can see the area outlined here that they're watching for some of that development. Now, if it continues to go straight west into the northern Gulf, it could probably reach southeast Texas. There is a chance it could dip a little bit farther to the south, and if that happens, there is an outside chance of maybe it moving more off towards the west, southwest Louisiana, or even southeast Texas. But right now, it looks like all indications are it's going to be heading more towards parts of southeast Texas. Once again, we're going to be watching it and updating you on this. We could see maybe a few changes, but at this point, it doesn't look like we're going to see a whole lot. We'll have to wait and see. As we look towards outside right now, clear skies from our 12 News studios here. You can see just a few clouds here and there. Temperatures this morning have dropped back into the 70s. 73 in Beaumont, 76 Port Arthur, 74 in Orange, as well as Silsbee, Kirbyville, and Woodville. So most locations around 74. Jasper currently at about 72. Here's a look at our day planner. We'll be in the lower 80s by 9 a.m. and then up into the lower, maybe even some middle 90s up towards the lakes area. You add in the humidity. It's going to feel like maybe 102 to 104 for this afternoon. So stay hydrated, take those breaks. You know the drill with the heat. We'll see light south winds anywhere from about 3 to 8 miles an hour. Could see a couple isolated showers throughout the day, but coverage is going to be less than 10%. So not a lot of rain today or tomorrow. Like I said, as we head towards Friday into Saturday, that could change. We'll talk more about that coming up in weather.
You can hear the sound of that powerful rushing water there. A flood watch was in effect overnight for much of South Texas and the Hill Country, adding insult to injury in communities that were already hard hit. Now, between 150 and 200 people, they had to be rescued yesterday in Uvalde County amid dangerous flash flooding along the Frio River. The bad weather complicating the search for victims in the heart of the Hill Country. This is day 12 in Kerr County, and 161 people still missing there. Here at home, we have an update on the remaining arrangements for the southeast Texas flood victims.
Funerals will be held over the next 2 weeks. Friends and family of Joyce Baden will gather from 3 to 6 p.m. this Friday in the sanctuary of Wesley Methodist Church. That's on North Major Drive. And a massive Christian burial will be celebrated at 10 a.m. Saturday at St. Anthony Cathedral Basilica. There will also be a massive Christian burial for Ella Cahill the following Saturday, July 26th at 10 a.m. at St. Anne Catholic Church. A funeral service will follow that afternoon on Saturday the 26th at 4 p.m. for Aiden Hartfield at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church on Delaware.
Now, with so many losing so much in the flooding, one local group decided to help women specifically. The Southeast Texas Civilian Task Force took to Facebook to ask for purses. Now, in just a few hours, they got an outpouring of support.
12 News reporter Daniela Teboada Palau spoke to the founder and volunteers about why purses mean so much to those without them.
Whenever you're trying to get out, escape, you just leave without anything, not thinking about anything else besides your family and your kids.
The disaster relief organization Southeast Texas Civilian Task Force have received a call for donations from Kerrville and decided to donate purses for women who had to leave everything behind to be safe.
Purses are like sentimental values and they lost it during the flood, so it's something just like let them be seen by people.
Autumn Brown, founder of the Southeast Texas Civilian Task Force, said that from the moment she posted about the purses, she received nothing but love and support.
Women like purses, and so we wanted to do something that kind of made them feel good. Just one day, I posted this Saturday, Sunday, I had bags waiting for me at church.
The warehouse had a few volunteers packing today, but most coming to honor a person they lost in the flood.
I knew Mary Grace Baker, who was always smiling, and she loved helping people, so it was like kind of like me helping other people like how she did.
Purses might seem like an odd donation, but for a woman, a purse is everything, and there's still time to donate.
They can come and help. We have volunteers, or we have days that we need more help, and we ask for volunteers.
The task force will continue to accept donations until Sunday when they plan to deploy. If you'd like to donate, visit 12newsnow.com. And we've partnered with other TEGNA TV stations in Texas for our flood relief drive. So far, you've helped us raise more than $442,000. The money will provide direct support to flood victims. Scan the QR code right there on your screen to make a donation.
Developing this morning, 20 people are recovering in the hospital after an apparent carbon monoxide leak in downtown Port Arthur. Now, this happened at JBS Packing yesterday afternoon on Houston Avenue. Firefighters, they were called there just after 2 p.m. Port Arthur Interim Fire Chief Robert Havens, he tells us that the 20 workers affected were rushed to 4 area hospitals. They were nauseous, lightheaded, some even passed out or began vomiting. The chief believes that they were exposed to methane and carbon monoxide contaminants from a forklift.
What we have determined for the most part is that it was probably a methane leak and possibly carbon monoxide too. We found both those gases present. All we can surmise at this point is that it may be contaminated fuel for a forklift.
And leaders at the nearby port of Port Arthur say that they were not affected by this incident. The fire department is still working to pinpoint the exact source, and we'll keep you updated as we learn more. The first day of school just a month away, but thousands of Beaumont ISD students still are not registered.
And that could lead to a chaotic start to the year. 12 News' Derek Jones is in studio with more on why BISD is pushing parents to act now. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Mark and Tia. The district says less than half the students expected back in the fall are registered right now. And if parents wait until the first day, it could create a traffic jam of paperwork and frustration. That's why BISD is sounding the alarm. With the first day of school now just a month away, Beaumont ISD is still working to get students registered, and they're not even halfway there.
We have approximately about 15,000 returning students. So our goal is to get all 15,000 students registered. We need them to take care of that for us.
Parents who wait risk causing delays and long lines on the first day because kids can't start class without being registered. As of Monday, a little over 6,000 students were signed up. A recent Facebook post by the district shows registration still in the orange, with a ways to go before hitting their goal.
We're actually a little higher than last year, so thank you parents for taking care of it. I find that a lot of our parents want to wait until the last minute. We are encouraging you not to do that.
And while state funding isn't directly impacted, Dr. Frank says it's all about avoiding chaos.
It won't necessarily affect the funding for us. It just will be an issue for parents, especially if you think you're going to drop off students on the first day, go to work, and it's going to be easy. If they are not registered, we are going to require you to come in and take care of that.
To make things easier, BISD is partnering with community groups to help families get it done and even pick up school supplies along the way. One of those events is this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. at Marshall Middle School. Families can get help registering and kids can grab a free backpack filled with supplies. We'll have more coming up at 7:30. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Thank you, Derek. The district is also changing its school start and end times to better support learning and make transportation more efficient.
Yeah, beginning this school year, there's going to be more new times in effect for all campuses. So elementary campuses, they're now going to start at 8:25 and end at 3:55. Middle schools, they're going to run from 7:45 until 3:15. And high schoolers, they're going to have class from 7:15 to 3 o'clock. Now, you can review these new times on the district's website to ensure a smooth transition. And switching gears, the nation's health secretary and the country's ice cream makers, they have come up with a plan to make ice cream healthier.
One government official calling it a renaissance moment for health in America. ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains.
This morning, a shift from America's ice cream industry. Dozens of companies now promising to ditch artificial dyes. A group which makes up 90% of the U.S. ice cream market says that colors like red 40, blue 1, and yellow 5 will be gone by the year 2028. The move is part of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again initiative.
We now have about 35% of American food industry that has made commitments.
Kennedy has already gotten voluntary commitments to ditch artificial dyes from big names like Kraft Heinz, PepsiCo, and General Mills. The banning of some synthetic dyes has drawn bipartisan support. Earlier this year, in one of its final acts, the Biden administration banning red dye 3, something Europe did more than 30 years ago.
This is about showing consumers and our communities that we are stepping up. As ice cream makers, we want to ensure families continue to enjoy their favorite wholesome ice cream treat.
But not everyone is on board with the changes. Candy companies, including the makers of M&Ms, are resisting. The company insists the artificial dyes in its products are safe to eat and claims natural dyes are too expensive and don't deliver the same look or taste. Still, the Food and Drug Administration is moving quickly to approve new natural dyes. Yesterday, the agency approving a new blue dye made from gardenia fruit. It's the 4th natural food dye approved since April. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
And a group that lobbies for the candy industry has said that candy makers are not going to reformulate their products without federal regulations forcing them to do just that. All right, up next, the latest information on a deadly shooting outside of a Houston bar. Your time is now 7:12. We're going to be right back.
And it looks like a dry but hot day as we'll see temperatures climbing up into the lower to middle 90s for today. Expect to see maybe some rain towards the end of the week thanks to maybe a tropical system out in the Gulf. We'll check your 7-day forecast coming up.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today. As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. We are learning more about a shooting outside of a Houston bar. 17 people were shot, including a 14-year-old and several other teenagers, when someone fired into a crowd outside a Bugs bar during a drive-by shooting. The club's owner and a woman were killed. Now, the party's promoter doesn't believe that anyone was targeted and claims there were security checks in place.
Probably one of the scariest times of my life. Like, I've only ever been in a situation like this once, but nothing to where someone actually passed away.
And police have no description of the suspects, only that they were in a silver or gray sedan. And meanwhile, a Harris County family, they want to know why their loved one died in the Harris County jail. It happened as they were being released. Now, according to the sheriff's office, 32-year-old Alexis Cardenas was on his way out of jail on July 8th, a few days after being arrested on a traffic warrant. But as he was being escorted out, deputies say he became combative and refused to leave. It took several detention officers to subdue him, but once they did, they noticed he was unresponsive. He was pronounced dead at a hospital. His cousin says that none of that makes any sense.
So I'm thinking, if Alexis is saying, I don't feel safe leaving the facility, he was going through something emotionally, mentally, that I guess we can't explain. No one could explain it but him.
The sheriff's office says video of the incident will be released within 45 days.
.16 on this Tuesday morning, and temperatures have dropped back into the middle to lower 70s out there. 74 right now in Orange, Silsbee, and Woodville. Port Arthur's at 76, Beaumont's at 73. It's showing 72 degrees right now in Jasper. Outside, we have clear skies. Here is the view from the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange, Texas. The sun's coming up over the horizon, looking good out there for this morning. Gonna need the sunglasses for sure this morning. Our Roofing 911 live Skycam network over there towards the Horseman's Western Store. Then we'll shift to downtown. This is a camera from Packer the Prairie, currently showing 80 degrees now with the humidity at 86%, light southwesterly wind, as we see clear skies over downtown Beaumont for this morning. Also a clear radar. Nothing showing up on radar. We've got to have a few clouds, before we get some rain. And without any cloud cover, we have nothing on radar. Not expecting really much today. If we see anything, it might be an isolated shower late in the day. If we look down towards the Gulf of Mexico, there are a few showers down there, but these are a little bit farther south than the ones we've been seeing yesterday and last week. So I don't think we'll see too much coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. Can't get rid of the rain out towards the hill country. Once again, flash flood warnings out towards places like Kerr County, west of Austin and San Antonio. Hopefully this rain will weaken a little bit later on this morning, but they've had all kinds of flooding problems out there that's continuing thanks to the heavy rain that keeps coming down through parts of the hill country. We're watching this swirl off the east coast of Florida. That's going to be pushing across Florida, it looks like today, maybe into tomorrow. And then once it gets out into the Gulf, we'll have to wait and see what happens. There is a chance of development with this thing, but right now we'll have to see how it holds together as it goes over Florida. Just that little spin there. Hurricane Center says about a 40% chance of some development here, northern Gulf, as we go through the next 7 days. Right now, indications are it's going to kind of travel across the northern Gulf, reach southeast Louisiana, and kind of come ashore over southern Louisiana, give us some rain, but we won't have like a direct impact on this. Now, there's also a chance it could go a little bit farther south and maybe comes a little bit farther towards us. We'll have to wait and see, but like I said, a lot of the computer models indicating parts of Louisiana, not southeast Texas. So we'll keep tracking it, keep updating it for you, but right now it hasn't even reached the Gulf, so we'll continue to watch it. Our numbers today climbing up through the 80s, and then we'll be into the lower to middle 90s for highs this afternoon. Isolated shower, I don't think we'll see much out there for today as we head towards this evening. Temperatures back into the 80s, and eventually tomorrow morning, mostly clear skies again, and we'll see those 70s once again to start off on Wednesday. So partly cloudy, isolated shower maybe today, 92 to about 94 for highs. Tonight, middle to lower 70s, mostly clear skies overnight. Our 7-day forecast shows dry weather tomorrow, 20% chance of a shower Thursday, and then we'll have to see what's happening on Friday, Saturday. Right now, we'll go about a 60% coverage of rain. Could be kind of heavy there on Friday, Saturday, and then clearing out for Sunday into Monday.
So you need 40-mile-per-hour winds for that thing to turn into something with a name on it. Dexter is what it would be called.
A tropical storm, yeah, you have to have 40-mile-an-hour winds. So could be a tropical depression, could be a tropical storm. We'll have to wait. Right now, indications are that it's going to be something weak. We're not expecting strong hurricane or anything like that in the Gulf of Mexico. But like I said, we still got to come across Florida into the Gulf. We'll continue to watch it.
Fingers crossed we get to save Dexter for something that Jeff has a little more confidence in. All right, thank you,
I hope
Jeff.
we never get to Dexter.
Nothing at all.
All right, don't forget it's Christmas in July here on 12 News Daybreak, and that means we're giving away tickets for a family of 4 to Moody Gardens on Wednesdays in the 6 a.m. hour. We're also going to announce a grand prize winner for the 23rd. That's going to include that 4-pack of tickets. It's also going to have a night at the hotel and a round of golf for 1. So be sure to head on over to 12newsnow.com/contest to enter. All right, time for your trending news here. So it's 7:20 a.m. and we are learning about a new dating trend that relationship experts call bank skiing.
It sounds an awful lot like ghosting and doesn't seem very healthy. It's when one person slowly fades out of a relationship without communicating his or her feelings. Tisk, tisk, tisk. It can leave the other person confused about what happened. The term Banksying comes from the mysterious street artist Banksy, whose artwork appears and disappears suddenly, just like the people do, using this approach to end a relationship.
It's a coward's way out. So if this is being done to you and you feel that you have lost the most wonderful person and you're shot at love, please, this is how they communicate. You want to get to conflict resolution. It is never going to happen with this person.
Absolutely. This lady also says, unlike ghosting, where someone abruptly breaks contact with someone they've been dating, Banksying is a slow fade out of a relationship. You ever Banksyed someone or been Banksyed?
Probably both of those things. And there's nothing new with that, too. And she's right. It is a coward's way out. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? You think it would be worse to be ghosted or worse to be Banksyed by someone you've been with for a long time, let's say? Both are bad.
I was going to say both are childish.
Yeah, seems like the drawn out process could be a little worse.
I feel like ghosting, at least ghosting, it gets out the way easier. They're
like
gone.
a Band-Aid. Like a Band-Aid.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. If you're feeling burned out by constant to-do lists, school drop-offs, and never-ending notifications, you're not alone.
Yeah, that's why a growing number of women, especially moms, are talking about a new trend called monk mode. It's all about community support, slowing down and living minimally. Think communal mule, I can't spit that out. Communal meals, you know, getting together with your friends for a meal where cooking and cleanup aren't just one person's job, and shared childcare instead of solo juggling. Now, the trend also pushes not getting caught up in online trends and influencing. And, you know, this is probably the traditional way that we used to raise families and whatnot. It used to be a lot of aunts and uncles and friends, all kind of, it takes a village to raise a child.
Exactly, that's what they say.
All right, well, this one has us saying as if a couple of 90s movies characters are celebrating their 30th anniversary, and every millennial woman, and apparently me too, probably already knows what we are talking about. This is a great movie.
Yeah, Clueless debuted on July 19th, 1995, and Mattel and Paramount are releasing Clueless Barbies. Let's look at them. In the cult classic rom-com, Sharon Dion were played by Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash. They'll now be immortalized in their signature preppy plaid, with learner's permits and cell phones as accessories. The dolls can be pre-ordered for $60 and will start shipping in September. I bet a lot of people will like this though, just for nostalgia reasons.
Absolutely.
You know,
classic movie. It was so funny. I love that movie. And was it Paul Rudd was in it way back when? He's now Ant-Man and everything else these days.
When I saw it, it was so long ago. I mean, 1995, if you do the math, I was barely walking.
I was like 12.
Yeah, I know. Taking a live look at Beaumont right now. Your time is 7:23. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber will be back with your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Quick look at our coastal marine forecast for today. South winds at 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Next high tide is coming up here right at the top of the hour, 7:59 this morning. Then we'll see another one at 6:59 for this evening. Our sunrise was at 6:26. Our sunsets at 8:18. Water temperature out in the Gulf in the middle 80s. We'll see a light chop on the inland lakes and bays today. Generally partly cloudy skies with little chance for rain.
And when we come back, Jeff's going to have much more on that potential tropical system out there that could come our way.
And your time now, 7:27, taking a live look at Orange. We'll be right back in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
By the end of the week, there is a chance we could be feeling the impacts of a tropical system. This disturbance right here now has a 40% chance of developing, and it's something that our weather impact team has been tracking closely. Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us here on 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. The time now is 7:30. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber is standing by with the latest on this. And Jeff, what can we expect here in Southeast Texas when it comes to the system?
At this point, it looks like maybe just some rain as we head towards Friday and Saturday. We'll have to wait and see how this storm develops once it gets into the Gulf, and exactly where it's going to go. We're still kind of up in the air. We're going to have to wait and see about that. Right now, though, you can see the spin right here close to Daytona Beach, so it's coming onshore into Florida. Going to be traveling off towards the west and eventually appear back out into the Gulf. So we'll have to wait and see how it interacts with Florida today, and then once it gets back into the Gulf, what it'll do. Right now, the Hurricane Center says a 40% chance over the next 7 days of this developing into a tropical depression, tropical storm, something like that. It looks like it will be weak, at least some of the computer models indicating that it won't be a hurricane. It'll be a weak tropical depression, maybe a storm. If it becomes a storm, it'll be Dexter. And a lot of indications are that it's going to be moving maybe towards southeast Louisiana, somewhere in that region as we head towards the end of the week. We'll still get some rain from it, but won't be giving us a direct impact or anything like that. So something we'll be watching right now. Like I said, there's still questions on, exactly what track it's going to get to as it gets out into the Gulf and how strong it's going to be when it comes into the Gulf. So we'll continue to update you on that. Temperatures out there for this morning are into the middle to lower 70s as you walk out the door. Lower 70s through Jasper and Kirbyville at 73. Middle 70s here around the Triangle. 75 for Orange, and here in Beaumont, then 76 in Port Arthur. Our day planner showing highs up into the lower to maybe a few middle 90s, around 94 or so. Generally partly cloudy skies. There is a chance for an isolated shower for today, but we'll see our coverage is less than 10%. Will be a lot of rain out there like we've seen the last few days or so. And winds will be light again this afternoon, south only at about 3 to 8. So if you're out in the heat with a heat index around 102 to 104, you'll need to stay hydrated and take some breaks. Get into the AC from time to time as it will be very hot and humid, not only today but tomorrow. We'll look at our 7-day forecast, including Friday into Saturday time frame, about rain coverages then and how much rain we'll get coming up in weather.
A flood watch was in effect overnight for much of the Hill Country. 150 to 200 people had to be rescued yesterday in Uvalde County amid dangerous flash flooding along the Frio River. The bad weather complicating the search for victims. This is day 12 in Kerr County. 161 people are still missing. Here at home, we have an update on the remaining arrangements for the Southeast Texas flood victims.
Yeah, funerals are going to be held over the next 2 weeks. Joyce Baden's loved ones, they're going to gather from 3 to 6 on Friday in Wesley Methodist Church Sanctuary on North Major Drive. A mass of Christian burial that's going to be held the next day at 10 a.m. on Saturday at St. Anthony's. There's also going to be a mass of Christian burial for Ella Cahill the following Saturday, July 26th at 10 a.m. at St. Anne's, and a funeral service is going to follow that afternoon on Saturday the 26th at 4 p.m. for Aiden Hartfield at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church on Delaware. And we have partnered with our other TEGNA TV stations across Texas for our flood relief drive. So far, you have helped us raise more than $442,000, and that money is going to provide direct support to the flood victims. So be sure to scan that QR code right there to make a donation.
Switching gears now, 20 workers are recovering this morning after a carbon monoxide leak in Port Arthur. Firefighters were called out to JBS Packing yesterday afternoon. Workers at the seafood wholesaler say they knew something was wrong when they started feeling sick.
Port Arthur Fire Department was there for hours clearing that air. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato, she has more.
Person down over here, they thought it was heat exhaustion.
A normal workday came to a stop at JBS Packing after workers started feeling sick. 20 people were taken to the hospital as the Port Arthur Fire Department worked to clear a carbon monoxide leak.
We responded, found 3 more people suffering the same symptoms, and then more people started suffering the same symptoms.
Port Arthur Interim Fire Chief Robert Haven says workers experienced cases of simple asphyxiation, meaning a gaseous product entered the lungs and lowered oxygen levels.
What we have determined for the most part is that it was probably a methane leak and possibly carbon monoxide too. We found both those gases present. All we can surmise at this point is that it may be contaminated fuel for a forklift.
Forklifts can run on methane in the form of compressed natural gas. The fire chief says the leak made workers feel lightheaded, dizzy, and nauseated.
We did have some fairly serious cases out here when we first got here. People were actually passing out, but that was very short-lived. You know, we treated them with oxygen therapy and got them transported to the local hospitals.
And the fire department, they are still investigating this case.
Of course, we'll keep you updated. With a month until the beginning of the school year left, Beaumont ISD says fewer than 50% of students are registered.
Yeah, the district wants to ensure that parents get their children signed up now. And 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he has more on why that matters. Derek?
Mark and Tia, Beaumont ISD is pushing for parents to register their kids soon. If not, they could miss out on crucial events to make their child's transition into the school year a lot easier. With more than 15,000 students anticipated to return for the 2025-2026 school year, the district is looking at ways to help parents get their kids signed up. The district's associate superintendent says only 6,600 students have completed the 15-minute process, but having an accurate head count helps BISD ensure it gets the appropriate staff for a successful year.
All students are required to be registered. We want parents to know that we want students and them to have a great first day of school. If they are not registered on that very first day before they can even be assigned classes, they will have to complete the registration process.
Dr. Frank says if parents don't register their kids before the first day, they'll have to start that process on the first day. Each student must re-register every year to return to school. To help with this, the district will host a registration assistance program and back-to-school supply drive for students at Marshall Middle School. That's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. To take advantage, your child must be a student at the ISD, and everyone will get one backpack. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek. The district, they are also changing their start and end times to better support learning and make transportation more efficient.
Now, they'll be in effect for all campuses. Elementary campuses will now start at 8:25 and end at 3:55. Middle schools will run from 7:45 until 3:15. And high schoolers will have class from 7:15 to 3 o'clock. You can review these new times on the district's website to ensure a smooth transition. Meanwhile, an emergency ruling from the Supreme Court yesterday is sending shockwaves through the American school system.
Yeah, it's going to allow the Trump administration to move ahead with mass layoffs at the Department of Education. Here's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
On Monday, the Supreme Court granting another major victory to the Trump administration, allowing it to proceed with mass layoffs at the Department of Education.
I'm just incredibly pleased that the authority was reinstated where it should be. This lifts the handcuffs off of what we've been trying to do.
The layoffs were announced in March as part of Trump's efforts to slash spending, but were paused by a lower court. Now, the new decision is paving the way for the president to follow through on his promise to gut the department, which manages federal loans for colleges and enforces civil rights laws in schools. Trump celebrating the win, saying, quote, "The federal government has been running our education system into the ground, but we're going to turn it all around by giving the power back to the people." But education advocates warn that the coming cuts will leave students without critical support services, from special education to financial aid. While the National Parents Union says this is not just a policy disagreement, it's a constitutional crisis. Congress created the Department of Education, and only Congress has the authority to eliminate it. It comes as at least 24 states are suing the Trump administration for withholding more than $6 billion in Congress-allocated funding.
This is one of those moments where something really big and potentially really damaging could be getting ready to occur. I'm going to do everything that I can to stop it.
The grants, which had bipartisan approval, were meant to go out to programs across the country July 1st. But the Trump administration said it was conducting a review before releasing the funds, claiming the grants would be used to promote a radical left-wing agenda. Now the states are demanding a federal judge intervene, calling the move illegal and unconstitutional.
Against the Constitution, from a legal standpoint, this is not a hard case.
Even if the states win their case, education advocates warn it may be too late to hire staff for programs meant to return at the start of the school year, leaving students and families scrambling. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
We have a big update on Sunday night's fire at an assisted living facility in Massachusetts. The firefighters union now says understaffing delayed rescue efforts. 9 people were killed and dozens were hurt. First responders got to the Gabriel house to find residents screaming for help from their windows. One woman says she felt certain she would die, realizing she was trapped in her room.
I thought I was dead. I really thought I was going to meet my maker. I did think that smoke was heavy in there, and I opened the window and I yelled, "Help, help, help." And the fireman came up the ladder, broke the window and got me out.
The owner of the facility says he's devastated by the tragedy and is cooperating with the investigation. Still ahead on Daybreak, new technology helping divers with recovery efforts, and it's already in use after the Hill Country flooding. Your time now, 7:40.
And hot and dry the next couple of days. Then towards this weekend, we could see some heavy rains, possibly from a tropical system in the Gulf. We'll have a look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news and keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
Are you looking for qualified employees? You'll find them at the 12 News Job Fair, Thursday, July 24th at the MCM Elegante from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Collect applications, do initial job screenings, or hold complete interviews. The 12 News Job Fair is attended by hundreds of applicants ready to work. Call 409-833-7512 to find out how you can be a part of the 12 News Job Fair, July 24th at the MCM Elegante. Reserve your booth today.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back at 7:43, and it's time for your morning rush with some of the top stories this morning. First up, in Beaumont, a 2-year-old is still fighting to survive after a hit and run early Monday morning on College Street near Major. Police say the boy somehow got out of his mother's vehicle and ran into the road. He was hit by the driver of a newer black Chevy Tahoe, who then took off. The boy was flown to a hospital. If you know anything, call police or Crime Stoppers. Testimony is expected to begin today in Harry Lowenthal's trial. He's accused of manslaughter in the April 2024 death of John Janice. Investigators say phone records and witnesses link him to selling fentanyl to Janice the day he died. If convicted, he faces 25 to 99 years or life in prison. Testimony will also begin today in a Port Arthur man's murder trial. 23-year-old Stephen Angel is charged in the 2021 shooting death of Jacoby Rubin. This is his second trial after a jury couldn't reach a verdict in February. Prosecutors say the shooting started as a fist fight and escalated. Angel was also shot in the foot during the incident.
7:44 on this Tuesday morning. If you got to be at work by 8 o'clock, you got about 15 minutes before you need to be there. Don't have to worry about the weather this morning, maybe just the sunglasses as we have plenty of sunshine outside. Temperatures right now into the middle to lower 70s, 73 right now in Kirbyville. Everywhere else, generally in the middle 70s. Woodville, Jasper, Silsbee all at 75, Beaumont 76, as well as Port Arthur and Orange currently 77. And like I said, you'll need those sunglasses this morning. Look at this. Clear skies as we show from our 12 News studio camera. We're looking off towards the north down I-10. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Radar, of course, is clear. You got to have some clouds before you can get anything on the radar, any rain. And with no clouds, we have nothing on radar. Could see a couple of clouds develop late this afternoon, an isolated shower, but at this point, we're not expecting much. There has been some activity out into the Gulf as far as just a few scattered showers. Has nothing to do with what's over towards Florida. Unfortunately, a lot of heavy rain once again towards central Texas, the hill country. Been seeing some flash flood warnings towards Kerr County again for this morning as the rain continues to come down there. So not good news for those folks as they're trying to recover from the big time flooding that they've seen. Daytona Beach, Florida, that's where this little swirl looks like it's headed for this morning. This is what we're watching for maybe some development once it gets into the Gulf. Right now it's going to be traveling across Florida for today and then out into the Gulf. And Hurricane Center says this little swirl right now has about a 40% chance of developing into maybe a tropical system as far as a depression or maybe a tropical storm. If it does become a storm, it'll be Dexter. So we'll be watching for this. Going to be working its way across the northern Gulf, it looks like. And if that happens, probably going to be running into southeast Louisiana, southern Louisiana, and we'll just get some rain from it. If it takes a little bit more of a southern track, it could go a little bit farther off towards the west, but we'll have to wait and see. A lot of indications, though, now that it's going to be going pretty close towards maybe southeast Louisiana. We'll be watching it, updating it for you. A lot of questions still. We'll have to wait and see as it gets out into the Gulf. Futurecast showing temperatures climbing up through the 80s for this morning. We'll see maybe a couple isolated showers this afternoon as we reach those lower to middle 90s and then back into the 80s this evening. Mostly clear skies through the evening and overnight as temperatures return to the 70s starting off on your Wednesday. Wednesday should be dry as well as today. Partly cloudy skies today, just an isolated shower possible. 93, 94 for highs, middle to lower 70s for tonight. And then our 7-day forecast showing 94 on Wednesday. It's going to be hot, humid. Take care, stay hydrated. Few showers coming in late Thursday, and then that Friday, Saturday time period is when we'll see probably some of the heaviest rain, maybe 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches of rain, somewhere in that range, as that storm system possibly moves into southern Louisiana and pushes a little bit in our direction. By Sunday, just a small chance of a few showers, and then Monday looks dry and hot again at 93.
Hopefully it just does something good for us, doesn't just gets out of the way.
Hopefully it just stays a weak little weather system,
Yeah.
a little area, low pressure, and give some rain to parts of Louisiana. Not too much, but maybe a little bit there. That's what we're hoping for. But like I said, if it does become a tropical storm, winds at 39, 40 miles an hour, then it would be Dexter, and hopefully that's it. We won't see anything stronger than that.
Even with a weak system, I wouldn't be planning any trips over there or anything like that. It could still cause you some rain and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, lots of rain coming down into parts of Louisiana towards Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, thanks a lot, Jeff. We'll stay on top of it. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. Well, as search and recovery efforts continue out in the hill country, conditions throughout the flooded areas, they are making things hard, and one of those conditions is low visibility. Divers say that right now it is as bad as it gets.
But a new device could drastically speed things up in Kerr County. Mike Jimenez with our sister station in San Antonio is highlighting a new piece of tech called Aqua Eye.
It will scan the area of a football field in a minute and pinpoint the location of a victim.
Carolyn Lunkarek, founder and CEO of Aqua Eye, says she created the device to help lifeguards in camps locate drowning victims.
And as soon as we started trying to, sell it and talk to people, I realized that the need was much greater than I had ever believed.
A handheld sonar device works similar to a radar gun that you put underwater, pull the trigger, and scan.
It sends out sound pulses just like any sonar device does. And when the echoes return, it analyzes them and uses AI to try to figure out, okay, which objects have a high likelihood of being a human being.
Lunkarek says it's not a magic wand and it's not 100% perfect.
It can drastically reduce search sizes. So teams often report back side-by-side comparisons, 80-90% reduction in search times.
The device is now used by firefighters, police, navies, and search and rescue teams. Monkarek says with the simplicity of the device, you can start a search in seconds versus the time it takes getting a boat, crew, and equipment in water.
All while that's happening, this thing can be in the water immediately and pinpointing locations that you want to check out.
Search volunteer Courtney Adair says visibility in the river is about as bad as it gets.
You have about 6-inch visibility, which makes searching almost impossible.
The search team Adair is on has just gotten the approval for the use of an Aqua Eye device. He says with next to no visibility, you can't rely on your own eyes to search.
Aqua Eye kind of breaks down that barrier, right? It extends that search area, that radius, to help us better detect soft tissue and things that we're looking to recover and investigate.
There are currently 4 teams using the devices. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit aquaeye.com.
And if you've ever noticed that you suddenly get more angry or irritated on hot days, there is a reason for that. A psychologist at Cleveland Clinic says studies show that during heat waves, there's an increase in ER visits, suicides, aggression, and violence. The heat can also impact your sleep. And if you're not getting enough of that, you may find yourself feeling more impatient or irritable the next day.
Is hot, your body is working on overdrive to keep it cool. This creates stress on the body, which releases cortisol, the stress hormone. It drains you of your energy and your emotional resources to think through issues in a logical way.
So to keep cool, be mindful of your mood. If you find yourself feeling cranky, stay indoors when possible.
Now to some good news for Gulf Coast shrimpers. The Gulf shrimp season will reopen today for state and federal waters. The fishery closed in May to let brown shrimp reach a larger, more valuable size before harvesting. According to NOAA, commercial shrimping usually reopens when the shrimp reach an average size of nearly 4.5 inches. The season technically starts back up 30 minutes after sunset this evening. And when 12 News Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush hour.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue,
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers
taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. Sponsored by Sabine Equipment.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
at Daybreak. It is 7:54 right now, and that means it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. 20 people are recovering in the hospital after a chemical leak yesterday at JBS Packing in Port Arthur. The interim fire chief says they were rushed to 4 area hospitals. He believes they were exposed to methane and carbon monoxide contaminants from a forklift. The fire department is still working to pinpoint the source.
As Beaumont ISD struggles with low registration numbers for the upcoming school year, it is hosting an assistance program and back-to-school supply drive for students at Marshall Middle School. It's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Your child must be a student at BISD, and everyone will get one backpack.
The district is also changing its start and end times to better support learning and make transportation more efficient. Elementary campuses will now start at 8:25 and end at 3:55. Middle schools will run from 7:45 until 3:15, and high schoolers will have class from 7:15 to 3. You can review these new times on the district's website.
Hot and dry today and tomorrow. We'll see little chance for maybe a couple isolated showers. That's about it. And then maybe just a couple of showers on Thursday. Friday into Saturday, kind of a question mark there whether we'll see a lot of rain or not, depending on what develops out to our east in the Gulf. So we'll continue to watch that. Right now we'll go 60% coverage, maybe 1 to 3 inches of rainfall during Friday into Saturday. Sunday, rain chances start to come down. By Monday, we'll see a hot, dry day.
Here's a reason to smile. Old Tech is helping to make modern connections for a new public service in Vermont. Patrick Schlott has been rebuilding old payphones and setting them up outside of libraries and rest stops so that those without access to cell phone service or the internet can make free calls. He's even paying for each call out of his own pocket. Patrick even got new locations planned with the same mission, neighbors helping neighbors. I think that's great.
It's kind of like how they say, like, history repeats itself. You start to recycle clothes, payphones.
But you've never used a payphone, ever.
No, have you?
Of course. I'm old.
I'm sure of it.
I'm very old.
I was going to say all that.
Back in the day when you meant to make a phone call, you had to go actually inside somewhere and pick up a phone and make a phone call.
Wow.
There was no, hey.
I got no comment about it. I don't remember any of this. Thanks for watching us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
Jeff and I will be right back here at midday. Make sure you tune in at 11 a.m.
Have a great day, everyone.